What do you do? Look at the times we're in right now, right? And it's not unique to you. It's not unique to me. It's a whole world suffering with this, right? Pandemic.
Right.
And losing. Who do we reach to? Who do we talk to?
Right. And I would say,
so the timing is perfect. Who do you talk to?
Yeah, it can be very tricky, because I would say, okay, you may feel like there's no one to talk to, but does that mean, since there's no one to talk to, let me just end my life? No, it doesn't mean that. It means, okay, there's no one to talk to. Let me try to treat myself. And I know I may sound like I, never been through that, but I'm just saying it. But it's the only thing to do. If you don't have insurance and you have there's COVID going on, of course. We in December of 2020. Mm-hmm. There's COVID going on. I understand that. And you don't have insurance and you can't get, but then you have to just buckle down. I know things may seem hard, but you have to just buckle down and say, okay, let me just do it on my own up until I can get insurance or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying?
Don't stay stuck.
Yeah, don't just say, okay, well, it's a dead end. When it comes to life, and I repeat, when it comes to life, Life, when it comes to life, there is no such thing as dead ends, just obstacles. That's it. There's no such thing as a dead end because God himself knows everything imaginable. So God himself will never be stuck because he knows everything. He knows, okay, well, if I'm stuck here, let me do this, let me do that, let me do this. He already knows. So you have to act because God puts that in your mind. That's what your mind is. That's where God lives. God lives in everyone. Where does he live? In your mind. That's where God lives, in your mind. And then you have to understand that, okay, I have these obstacles and it feels like I'm at a dead end. No one can tell me nothing. Look what I'm going through. I have no insurance. I have this, I have that, I have this. I'm about to lose my house. I'm about to get evicted. Okay. But your life ain't ended. So therefore, you have to buckle down and say, okay, well, everything crashed. I can't have all of this. So let me just go here. You ain't gonna want to go there, ever. You're not ever gonna want to go there.
That's the place of uncomfortability.
Yeah.
That's the place of the unknown.
Right. But that's the choice. All of our lives are temporary. So why can't we just live out our temporary life to the fullest extent until we pass? Because when we pass, it's permanent. It's permanent. So you might as well just keep going. You're going through life. I'm going through all these problems. Oh yeah, one after another. Yeah, just keep jumping the hurdle. Just jump that hurdle. Because that's what happened in my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not speaking on, oh, well, I think you should do this. I'm speaking because I lived it. Mm-hmm. I lived with a grandmother that not committed, but attempted suicide. I lived with a grandfather that attempted suicide. I lived with a uncle, 3 uncles. I only have 4. I lived with 3 uncles that almost committed suicide. I deal with my mom that almost committed suicide. I deal with my mom, my brother that lived it out and committed suicide. I deal with myself that almost died. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't get shot 9 times and just feel like, oh, I went to the hospital and they gave me a Band-Aid. No, they gave me an open heart massage. They cracked my ribs open. They gave me a heart massage. I still got the staples in my chest. They gave me a heart massage. I lost 15 pints of blood. I had to get a blood transfusion. I had to learn how to walk again. Everything happened to me. You see what I'm saying? So I learned through life how to deal with shit.
So here's my question, and I'm listening to you. You have uncles, you have grandparents. You was there for Terry. I check on Terry. I take care of Terry. I take care of my moms. Yo, your mom, something seems like it's not right. Let me go check on my moms. I take care of my kids. I provide for my family. Right. When is the you time? Because throughout this whole thing, I heard you say, I don't suffer with depression. It skipped me. I don't have that. Depression isn't just suicide. Depression isn't just bipolar. At some point, just in listening to you, you had a bout with depression. It's just how you dealt with it.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
So you dealt with your depression. You just dealt with it in a way of positivity and moving forward. And like you said, getting over that hurdle. But my question to you is, since dealing with all of this, have you had counseling? And if you haven't, where is the you time to take care of you? Because after a while, it does build up. You've seen a lot of it. You've seen it all. You've been through a lot. When do you take time for you? What do you do for you to break it down and settle?
That's a good question.
You did it all, and you still are dealing with the aftermath of your brother.
Yeah.
And the current situation on and off with your mother.
Yeah, when you lose someone, to others it's temporary.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace on Facebook.
Once a year.
Give you the fucking emoji hands and shit. You know what I'm saying? But then to you, I'm living that for the rest of my life. So I understand what you're saying. And
what's your answer?
I would say that my source of keeping my head stable would be able to really talk to someone. You can't just say, okay, well, I'm going through so much, I'm gonna just jump off a bridge. I'm going through so much, I'm gonna take 25 pills. I know that's gonna do it. I know I'm going through so much, let me just grab a gun and shoot myself in the head. Because, like I said, we're all temporary. So we just gotta live out our lives to the fullest we can, just to see how far we could take it.
As you say that, I heard you mention earlier about, and I've had my counselor said it to me once, and I never once thought of that on my own. When you think of suicide, how do you think you want to go? What do you come up with? So my therapist said to me, okay, so let's go with pills. Let's say you say pills. So you think I'll take a bottle, 2 bottles, however many you want to take. And you think what? I'll take them and then I'll just die. I said, yeah. And then he said something and I'm just like, never thought of it. What if it doesn't kill you? What if you can see everything, you can hear everything, you know everything is going on around you. And for the rest of your life, somebody has to wipe your ass. Somebody has to take care of you. You can't do nothing. So now, even if you wanted to kill yourself, you can't, because you can't move.
Right.
What if you jump and now you're just a paraplegic? What if, because you have no control on how that ends.
Exactly, yeah. Right.
You think this is a definite formula.
Yeah.
He says there are people who has put a gun to their head and shot and
still didn't die.
Still didn't die. Now their face is all contorted. Yeah. And they got to live now they live with that.
Right.
So, and I'm like, he's like, I'm just asking.
It's a good question.
So you're mad at, you're angry at, you're hurt at, you're in pain because of.
Yeah.
Now take the worst case thing that's hurting you and add paraplegic to it. Was it worth it? Because now you got time to sit there and think.
Oh, because you can't do anything.
Now you can't even, now you really want to take your life. And no one's going to help you. Now what?
Now, I can
imagine. And so if you thought you was a burden to your family before.
Now you're really a burden.
Now you're really a burden.
Yeah.
I was pissed at that doctor.
Why?
I was pissed.
You was pissed?
I was here like this. I'm paying you. Nobody asked you that. I was really mad.
Because he gave you a different reality.
And then he said stuff like, you're upset.
Yeah.
Grab the stick, this foam stick, and you can hit the pillow. Now you're pissing me off because hitting a pillow means I'm crazy. And I was like, I'm not gonna hit. He's like, then don't hit the pillow. This is a therapist I've gone to for years now that I fully trust. And it takes time to get there.
On my end, I was just walking the path of a suicidal person without actually committing suicide. And this is what life did to me. And I don't know what you call that. I don't know what that is. I've never done it again after that. But I know once I went into the psych ward and they held me for 72 hours and they was telling me that they know my history of my mother, my family, I was just like, oh no, I'm doomed. I'm about to be gone for months. And they said the only way that you can get out of here is if your wife comes and talks to me, because she got the call. Mm-hmm. If she comes and talks to me and lets me know, you probably were just feeling the way that day, and you don't understand the phone call that I made to her when they told me that. I called her and told her that you gotta come sort me out. Just come sort me out. Yo, you come on. I was bugging out. But I was bugging out. But then I look back and say, but why was you doing it?
So that's what I want to talk about. Because the whole time you told that story is, I'm gonna make Terry see that I'm gonna pay him back, and I'm gonna send them this message, and I want them to think about that. I think you say that to yourself because it makes you feel better because you know your family's history, and that's not you. Right. Listening to all you've been through, maybe you wasn't gonna jump, but I think you tell yourself that story because what your family history looks like, it skipped me. But here you are on this bridge.
Right.
Saying, no, I'm not going to jump. I'm just acting like it. Yeah, okay.
Right.
So I need you to know.
Yeah.
You keep telling yourself that. Yeah. All right? That ain't the case. Yeah. And at some point, sooner than later, because you're handling it. You handle it. And the obstacles that came your way, handled it. And I'm proud of you. Because that's a lot you went through, and you just... Yeah, I'm good, but you're not good. That whole routine, I'm going to pay Terry back. Terry ain't here. Terry was on your wrist. My mother's going through this. Uncles, grandparents. And now I'm sending you a text, but I'm just playing. Okay. So you think it skipped you. And it's okay to keep telling yourself that, because look at all I went through. I am strong. Yeah. Well, I'm here to tell you that wasn't an act.
Maybe it wasn't.
Because if you're talking, we said it, several times. We're looking for a sign. And that whole time you walked on that bridge, you got several signs. We love you. You talking to yourself and strange people looking at you like, we love, really? Because they knew.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, I see life as something that I want to just continue to live. And I don't look at myself as suicidal, but I look at myself as like, I think I have a abundance of bullshit that, I wouldn't say bullshit, but abundance of issues that's been put on my neck without me asking for it. But then just had to learn how to deal with it. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. But I just never looked at it where I look at all these issues and let me just go to the bridge. It was just more so of like,
Terry, how could you do this to me?
But I look at it like, I look at it like, when it comes to somebody that you are very, very, very close to, it could be your brother, it could be your mother, your father. Suicide is different. I wouldn't have ever done that if he would have got murdered. I would have never went to the bridge.
You would have been angry though.
I would have been angry, and I would have been looking for the person who did it.
It would have turned to violence.
Yeah, it's different when it's a 27-year-old male that just do it for what? For what? And you know, and the person's mind, and that's why I say in my brother's mind, he made his mind up. I'm doing it because A, B, and C.
Mm-hmm.
A, B, and C.
Temporary situations, but a permanent solution.
Yeah, but you shouldn't. Yeah, I know. But A, B, and C.
Mm-hmm.
But Terry, you shouldn't do this because if you do this, I look at it like, what if I talked to him before, and then he really did it? I don't know how it felt. If I would have talked to him before he did it, knowing he was gonna do it, and thinking in my mind I steered him away from doing it, but then he really did it, I could just imagine how I would feel. I think it's better the way it happened without me knowing, and just deal with him leaving, because I would have been dealing with a whole nother demon. Mm-hmm. If I would have tried to talk him out of it and then he actually did it, then I would feel like, oh, I'm not effective. Mm-hmm. Everything I told him, he didn't listen, or maybe I should have said it this way. Maybe I should have used that word. I should have used this word. So, But
that's not your fight.
Yeah.
That's not your fight.
Right.
And one thing I would say to you, suggest to you, plead of you. 1, 2, 3 sessions. Just to find somebody to just go that's not judging you, that you could just lay it all out. And the reason I say that is you have it in your family, generation after generation after generation, and now you have kids. So in your mind, if you think it skipped you, you got kids. You think it's going to skip them too?
Right.
And then if y'all, no one is talking about it, knowing it's shit. So they're young. Your youngest is 5?
Yeah.
Okay, he's young. You have got to have these conversations, not about, oh, this is what I feel, but yo, I'm here no matter what. No matter how you think this is going to hurt me, no matter what you think. If you ever feel alone and dark and you don't know why, no matter what time of day it is, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
They've got to know that they got to out. Right. If I did something to you that pissed you off and you're mad at me, I will put that on ice to talk about your feelings at all costs.
Right. And that's what I struggle with at this very moment. Mm-hmm. Thinking I have it all mastered, but I don't. And then something happens, you know what I'm saying? And then I lose it or something. That's my biggest fear. Thinking I have it all mastered. Oh yeah, okay, I went through this and, I'm trying to, weather the storm, and then I don't. Because I live every day like I have it okay, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I have it mastered to the point where I can deal with the problem, but then still live my life. And I'm speaking of a person who is living after my own brother committed suicide. And for anybody who ever lost someone that committed suicide, they know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. They can relate 100%. And that's where I come from, in terms of living with a very close person or family member that actually committed suicide, and you had no idea that they were suicidal.
Okay.
0.
So with that information, always ask yourself, what am I going to do different from my boys?
Oh yeah.
You got to do something different. You got to change it up. You got to figure it out. Like, I may not catch it. I don't know if they have this. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But you know what? I'm not going to lose somebody else like that. At least without me giving 100% effort to say I'm available to talk.
Right. Exactly.
And I say it and I will repeat it over and over and over. Get through today. Just get through today. Push through the pain. So no matter how dark it is, no matter how bad it feels, and I've shared it before, if I want to kill myself today, if today I feel like it's today, I've made a promise to myself. I made a promise to my therapist. I made a promise to my husband. I won't do it today. I'll do it tomorrow. The goal is to get through today. The ration is, gonna think the same thing tomorrow. But if you keep promising yourself another day, I pray that I always have the energy to make it through to that next day.
Right.
To at very least communicate that. When I can't make a promise to say, get through the pain, push through the pain, get through to tomorrow. I'm not being honest with myself if I'm saying that, but I still got a stash, right?
Oh, yeah.
So when I finally decided, stop the bullshit. Are you fighting for your life or you just really bullshitting?
Yeah.
Because you ain't bullshitting nobody but you. This is your life you're going to end, and you're going to leave that scar with everybody. Are you really trying to get through this?
Right.
And at that point, I had a conversation with my husband, and I finally took the whole bag and I gave it to him.
Big step.
It's a big step. Even in that step, he took the bag. And I think because he didn't dispose of it immediately, in my mind was, oh, he wants me to take that. You're always the same way you're looking for signs to stay here, you're looking for signs like, oh, I was supposed to. He's doing a million things. He's grateful you gave him the bag. He's like, yes. And my mind was like, oh, he does want me to leave.
Yeah, because why he didn't throw it out?
Why he didn't throw it out?
Yeah.
Why did he leave it where I can find it?
Yeah.
That's what I immediately thought.
Yeah.
So then what did I do? Took the bag again. But he realized it was missing. And a lot of times I won't have a conversation about what I really feel and what that message really was to me. But I said, if you're fighting for your life, come on. So I opened up and I said, that's what the message is that you gave me.
Yeah.
But I think we were doing like a lot of stuff. I wasn't in any imminent danger. I wasn't displaying signs of wanting to leave at that point.
Right,
so
right.
It was like he put it down and he started doing stuff. And it was just that simple. It wasn't I don't really want you to give me pills. Go ahead and dead that. You got insurance?
Yeah.
Like we always make that joke, like,
right,
you got that insurance gonna look, But a lot of it is communication and checking in.
And one thing I also realized, I don't want to sound too corny, but it's true. Mm-hmm. I just don't want to sound corny by saying
if you sound corny, I'm gonna tell you.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm glad you got my back.
I got you. I'm not gonna edit it, but I'm going. Okay.
I care less about editing. It's just the life we live in.
Right.
Whatever,
but this is real.
But it all. When I talk to my mom and I hear these stories about everybody else, I'm like, damn, this kind of really boils down to love. It really does. I remember all these stories that my brother used to ask me when we had an event and he didn't go. Mm-hmm. It was always based on love.
And that's not corny at all. That's real.
You know what I'm saying? Like it. That's where a lot of people go wrong too and say they want to commit suicide. They may have different reasons, but a lot of times it's just love. Maybe not getting that love that they deserve or from a certain person that they're getting it from.
But I'll tell you this.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm sounding too corny, but it's like...
not. But it's not. No person on this earth, nobody, if you don't have self-love, and you looking for it from other places, that's where those empty holes come in.
Yeah. But it's love, self-love, whatever you want.
It's love.
It's love, though. Yeah.
That's one. And I want you to reach out. Normally I say, speak to them. Someone who's listening, who is suicidal, let them know the pain at least. But I'm not going to tell you to talk to them. Talk to me. And if there's something I didn't ask you that you think is important, that they need to know about the scar that's left behind, or someone you want to help, I may have missed the question. I ask you, speak to them, but speak to me.
I think you asked me very pertinent questions that kind of will definitely be taken to the point where we know that we lived through it, you know, and I try to answer every question that I could, because at the end of the day, it's like we go through this stuff and people lose their lives and we left here to deal with it. But, you know, we just need someone to understand what we're going through and care. But then it's like, okay, well, we have to go to the source, and then you can know who you are. As a black woman or as a black man, you know who you are, and it's not just I'm just Keisha Smith from the projects. No, you worth more than that. You know, it's more than that. You know,
it's your self-worth, your value, and you walk a little different when you know you come from greatness.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna end it on that because that was good.
Yeah.
I from the bottom of my heart, I honestly just thank you.
Thank
Because
you too.
I can sit here and say this wasn't easy for me. Mm-hmm. I know this wasn't easy for you.
It wasn't easy for me, and what made it a little easier for me is alcoholic beverages. Okay. And I don't want to promote alcohol. I don't want to come off that way, but it soothes my nerves that I'm just not telling you every story and tears is dropping down my eye because I'm crying on the inside right now. Can you see it?
I feel it.
I'm crying on the inside because it will always hurt for me.
But what you saying that, and I'm gonna keep it real. Just like you said, it makes it easy for you to cope. It makes it easy for you to tell your story. Yeah. But then you don't make that the next dependency. You don't make that the next problem.
Right.
Because I'm always gonna go back to. And so this sounds like a hypocrite. You got your kids. Because I know there's somebody out there like, wow, she got these kids. She got her kids. Mm-hmm. He told me he doesn't suffer with depression. Now I love you, brother. And I thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. This is beautiful. And I hope by us doing this, we can possibly just save one person. At least
purge, release. We try to teach one, help one, save.
Right. That's all it is.
That's what this was. We're trying. I'm trying. The purpose is just that. They don't tell our stories the way we tell them. Mm-hmm. They don't know how we feel when we walk our walk. And the goal is to this is what we look like when we hurt. These are our stories being told our way.
Right. That's
Thank
it.
you. I love you.
That's it.
This is Something's Coming Up. Please follow, share, subscribe on YouTube, Instagram, official Something's Coming Up, and on Facebook.
And Something's Coming Up is the realest podcast about real life that you've ever seen. Trust me.
Thank you. Stay tuned. If you have a story or box, I'd love to hear from you.